Hello and welcome to some more Star Citizen Fleet Week approaches, and there's been some PTU updates and patch notes over the last few days with the 3.13.1 F, G and H patches. There were another series of Fleet Week playtests over the weekend, well, on Sunday anyway, because there were issues with the build and the playtests were delayed. But there were a load of things that were fixed and improved through the various patches that we had. One of the best features of this is that they greatly increased the Fleet Week trade commodity demand. So hopefully this will be a demand that will continue for cargo. Certain goods, certain times are worth a lot more money when you can see the sort of like economy alerts sort of thing. Bam, there's a lot of stock of this in, it's very cheap. Oh, we've got none of this in, it's worth a lot more if you want to sell it. But also just generally certain cargoes are worth a good amount at certain times, and there's various trade routes that are now viable. Cargo running, buying and selling of different goods is a really viable way of making money in the latest 3.13.1 patch. So hopefully that will continue into Fleet Week and beyond. Between the patches, they fixed dozens of issues with Fleet Week specific content. They made loads of optimizations to the fleet, to the Bengal, the Idris, the Javelin, the Expo halls, new babbage. Some of these have the assets and lighting looking a bit better too. They've also tweaked AI and NPC behavior to hopefully act a lot less buggy, so we might see them walking around and sitting rather than janking and glitching into things. We know that the Hercules A2 and a new RSI ship are going to be viewable at the Expo hall, though the A2's interactions, that Hercules Starlifter bomber, they've been disabled in the most recent tests. Hopefully we'll see the interior during Fleet Week, probably, maybe, if it's ready. Might not be ready. That might be one of the main reasons that they sort of disabled that. There was also a polish pass on Fleet Week NPCs and additional animations and wild lines and updated collision and behaviors to help them sort of reduce walking in single file lines and being a bit dumb. They've also improved the Javelin tour with this, so that's really pretty cool. So there's going to be something new for you, even if you tested the PTU loads and you're like, well, I've already seen the Fleet Week content before Fleet Week. No, you probably haven't. There's going to be a load of improvements here, and it's going to be worth doing it when it goes live, and there might be some other little surprises. Let's look at the actual patch notes, though. Star Citizen 3.13.1 F. On the open PTU, armistice violation changes. So they changed the armistice violation to give no grace warning and be able to generate multiple infractions in a short period of time if violations are persistent. They also increased the duration armistice violation and aggravated vehicle damage, so it remains on the player's criminal record. Now, this is great because if you have a new player event where there's lots of players trying out the game for the first time, and you've got a load of PvPers or griefers or whatever that are like, lol, 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 let's see what happens when I murder everyone. Well, it's not going to be so easy to do that. You're going to be find it a lot harder to grief, and there's going to be a lot more stricter, aggressive penalties for that very quickly. So at least that's in place. Let's see what else they do to expand out the law system, because I do not want a load of new players to come into the game and go, oh, let's murder everything. I also don't want a load of the sort of more PvP and grief-orientated players. They are very separate things, PvP and griefing, although there's overlap, but griefers will typically PvP as well. Let's make that clear. I don't want those people just murdering new players as they try and work out how to fly upwards. So they also adjusted the Tumbrel Nova main cannon projectile speed and damage. Actually, during the sort of patch cycles with the last few open PT patches, they did disable the Nova tank and then bring it back. So that's good to know. They rotated the Starlifter underside turret view. The polish pass on Starlifter's emergency lighting and control panels have been done. Ongoing character performance optimization passes are being done. They fixed a rendering issue that could cause huge frame drops at various places. They fixed issues that were causing quantum travel to not be accessible when there was a party member on the bridge. They fixed an issue with the health pool of the Tumbrel Nova. Players should no longer get stuck in a ship's medical bay after lying down. Players should now be able to store the hammerhead once it's been docked at an R&R station. They've adjusted the Starlifter landing system to be harder to roll on its nose. They fixed an issue that was causing Starlifter ramps to not reach the ground on flat surfaces and be very angry sometimes. This sort of jank and spark. Starlifter co-pilot screen should no longer be rotated 90 degrees from its intended orientation. They fixed an issue causing Starlifter interaction screens to move and float away from their intended positions as well. They fixed missing buttons on the Starlifter toilet doors, so you can now enter and exit more easily. They fixed an issue causing weapon lockers in the M2 Starlifter armory from working properly. They fixed an issue with warning shields critical appearing on the HUD when it shouldn't be. Players should no longer be able to undock from a ship from a station while the ship is powered off and has no pilot. Female characters should no longer clip inside the bed on multiple Aegis series ships. Merlins should no longer be able to dock with another Merlin. That's amazing. I didn't actually know that was a thing. Caterpillar cargo doors should now be able to be opened or closed. There should no longer be a ball of light seen inside the cockpit view of the Pisces. They fixed an issue causing the rear cargo door to vanish on the Argo cargo when observed at certain angles. They fixed 3 client crashes and 4 server crashes, and also made various back-end service optimizations and performance improvements. There was then the much smaller patch notes of the 3.13.1 G patch. They fixed a pricing issue with dynamic trading profits that allowed some commodities to give much more than intended profits. Now, although they have tweaked this, and it was really quite good in F, I was like, actually quite enjoy those higher profits. They are sort of getting it into a level where it is still viable to trade and fun to trade, and like, oh, I can make some good profit, especially if I look at the commodity alerts, or at least potentially, or at least that gives you more options. But they don't want it so that they're like, well, cargo is just OP. Ship dialogue lines should now no longer overlap instead of queuing or interrupting each other. There should no longer be a replace me ball on the back of the wall in Area 18 Spaceport. There was then a hotfix for this patch, adding a few more things. They fixed an issue causing the overtank to crash servers, and that's when it was actually re-enabled, because they had it removed in the previous F patch. Tram doors at New Babbage should now consistently open when at stations, and they fixed an additional client crash. The 3.13.1 H patch was then implemented. Players should no longer damage ships while exiting and entering them. 300 series customizations should now appear in game. This may not work on the PTU and should work once 3.13.1 goes live though, so it's hard to test whether that's actually a fixed thing. And as of the H patch, the known issue list is significantly smaller than when we last looked at it. So this being items missing after update, character reset, and pledge change. So obviously that's not ideal. They're planning to keep your progress, so your Alpha EBC and your assets and stuff between patches. Obviously, there's a slight issue with the PTU with that, so bear that in mind. That's going to be something they're going to want to fix, though. Abnormally long delays between picking up and storing of FPS minables, harvestables, and items. The customizable nameplates do not appear on some skin variants for ships that should have them. On landing pads, trolleys are unable to be pushed, pulled up entryways, cargo ramps, or elevator ramps. The Constellation can despawn if you're flying 30 kilometers away from it after undocking your snub ship. Docking with a moving Connie can lag behind and cause janking and sort of like snapping. Trolleys found in Area 18 hangars are clipping through the floor and removing functionality. Players can spawn facing the wrong way in Arena Commander. That is, for the most part, a non-critical known issue list. I mean, obviously they're going to want to sort the long delay between picking stuff up, because that could be a database issue. The items missing when you like character reset or pledge change or whatever, that's something they need to sort out. But that could just be, those could just be PTU issues, and when they're connected to the correct databases for the live build, it might be fine. So obviously they want to get cargo trolleys in a good state. They want to get the Constellation and ship undocking with the Constellation into a better state. But that's pretty good, right? It looks like it's making good progress. There are more issues for sure that aren't listed there, and they're going to be trying to sort those out as well. They're going to be trying to get rid of 30Ks, well, not get rid of them, but minimize them. Stability, optimization improvements, all that sort of stuff is going to be key. And that's really it for the PTU patches and patch notes. They have really crunched down on those bugs, but there is still more time and more to fix. They are making headway for sure, though, plodding towards this 21st of May, this Friday, Fleet Week. My concern is going to be the stability for the client and the server. What's that going to be like for Fleet Week? What's that going to be like for 3.13.1? And that's something we might only know on the day. That said, the event starts on the 21st, and then a day later, the free fly on the 22nd. That's a great idea, because if there are any problems, they can probably get them solved, at least largely on the 21st, 22nd, getting them sorted before that free fly goes live, and a load of people join the game. And we have seen previously the servers get hammered. But what do you think? Will this patch be in a good state for Fleet Week on the 21st of May? Or are we going to see some major issues in the build beyond that of just being an alpha? Or are you looking forward to anything in particular in Fleet Week? Is there anything that you're thinking we might see that they haven't announced yet? Whatever your thoughts, I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Oh, what's this? I just found all your search history online. You filthy boy, buying spaceships and going on Ship Hub. Zin, show a picture of a sexy ship or something. You should have used NordVPN. It's a VPN, obviously, and it has my seal of approval because I chill for them. Use the links below to get a discount and help protect your data, identity, privacy, and to help with online accessibility. Every month we have a ship giveaway. For May, it's for a Crusader Hercules Starlifter. It's a big boy cargo and ground vehicle transport ship that you can expect to be added to the game by the end of the month. Just comment on any of my videos made during the month to be in for a chance of winning that. Thank you so much to my channel members who have pressed the join button below my videos and my Patreons as well. Going the extra mile really, really helps the channel. Say thanks for helping the channels in.
Thanks for helping the channels in.
Consider becoming a channel member or Patreon as well, and maybe you'll get some poorly photoshopped naughty spaceship shots. Oh, saucy. Thanks for watching and all your support.